The Nikon Z9 is not a cheap camera, and if you're on the fence about buying one as someone who doesn't own a Nikon, these are all the concerns and troubles I've had when using the Z9 for the last few weeks. Not to make this video negative, as all of these troubles have a solution, but I'm bringing them up because I think if you're on the fence and none of these matter to you, maybe it's time to pull the trigger and buy one. First of all, for me, would absolutely have to be the menu system. I'll be brief on this one, but it's different from other brands and sometimes I just couldn't find what I was looking for. However, from Googling or asking other Nikon users, every single option I wanted to tweak exists for both photo and video. However, if you're new to Nikon or any camera brand, you will have those moments of, where is this setting? Experience is the solution here. Don't buy it the day before a big job, get in some practice and you'll be sweet. Next up is the size of everything. Maybe it's just the lenses I've been using, but everything is big. I'm going to add a massive double-edged sword to this point, as I do not normally like using a battery grip, and clearly the Z9's is built in. Walking around with no neck strap for an hour or two wasn't uncomfortable, and I don't find things unbearably heavy, everything is just big. So this will be great news for those of you with huge hands, but expect to need a huge bag for all of your Nikon gear, or if you're trying to save a bit of bulk, I'd suggest getting some hands-on times first just to check how things feel to you. This is a little bit of a personal one, but I've become really used to using a back wheel. I think it's because when shooting I like to use my thumb a lot for changing options, and having to remove my finger from a shutter button to hold a button and spin a command dial is fine but slower. Adding a back wheel would have been nice, but you'll survive without it. Photographic autofocus felt insanely good. I am a Sony shooter and love their autofocus system, but this was a whole other level. Granted, I haven't used the Sony A9 III, but the amount of tracking options on the Z9 is fantastic. When it comes to video autofocus, I really found things a little disappointing. That was until I changed lenses. So as an example here, I found the 50mm f1.2s not great for video autofocus speeds, which makes sense with how big all those elements must be inside the lens, compared to the 24-70, which was fantastic. If you're planning to use the Z9 for video or hybrid work, do some research on specific lens video autofocus performance first. Finally, the Z9 is not cheap, but neither are any brand's flagships of similar specs. So if the idea of spending 10,000 New Zealand dollars or $5,500 US dollars scares you, then you've also most likely completely overlooked the fact you'll also be spending at least that amount again on lenses. And this goes for every brand's flagship camera. It's okay that the Z9 isn't for you. Price is subjective. But I think if you're mostly a video shooter, I'd probably rather have the Z8 or the Z6 Mark III. But if you're a wildlife, sport or hybrid shooter, then the higher price absolutely justifies the difference. With a stunning autofocus system and access to truly unique lenses like the 800mm f6.3, the Nikon Z9 to me feels like a truly unique option.